out and give me a pen left to right, yes.
Here's a bit.
Winning this. Well, considering they picked 8 strikers. Keep it going.
3 0 down, that's a 20.
If you rise at the back of that, might help. We're just running out of things to stack.
Unless you stack them both.
But then you've got nothing to stand on.
I'm trying to chair there and maybe. If you raise
you would stand over the top of it. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. All right, let's do that. I've got that. Down. Is that locked?
yeah, cool.
Alright, we're going to share. Right, now I reckon if you level that head off. Yep. Oh, no, still not. That's way off. Oh, how close before, right? It's not normally this difficult.
No.
You gotta come in very
Oddly slanted as well. Can't just fix the double and fix that. Still just top it.
And then when you do pen left to right, just zoom all the way up to the far stand and use the ribbons as a guide. Where's the you zoom all the way out, right?
Yep.
Stand with the line to right. One zoomed out. I seem to have this much trouble with the horizon.
No. I think that on the display was just working like last time I said. What was time?
Past. You don't necessarily have to rock that bracket. I normally have my hand over the top. Yes, just keep your hand on the right. Is that right?
Every time his hand seems to be far off.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. We can't center off because it's not level here for whatever reason. So as soon as it moves, like it's gonna give it as good as it's gonna get. Steve, which is TV, but it's like I'll look back at next. So like the actual level, it's not like we'll level it, but the thing's sort of still. So even when the spirit level's saying it's level, like so we'll have to eyeball, like it's way off when everything's level. So either something's not level in around here, or yeah, the spirit level's way off. So still have no idea.
Sit down.
Great choice, eh?
We're gonna have a sit.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it.
Your pen at the moment is great. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Cool. Alright. Cool. Should we also put
Good evening and welcome to the South Jerrabomberra Regional Sporting Complex for Hahn Australia Cup Round 4 qualifying action. Tigers FC from the National Premier League against Majura FC from the Community League Open Division 1. Brought to you by our Australia Cup sponsors, Allstate Towing. Broken down or been in an accident? Give Allstate Towing a call, your 24/7 local trusted towing company. Electro Tinj proudly supporting the Capital Football Australia Cup qualifying rounds. Deakin Club, the family-friendly football club. Kitro Excavations for your excavation and earth-moving needs. Rhythm Snowsports, Ignite the Stoke. Canberra PC Repair, IT support when you need it most. LJ Hooker for your real estate needs. Contact Lukas Cole at LJ Hooker. And Xela Construction, commercial builders, proudly supporting grassroots football. The Hahn Australia Cup, this is what it's all about. One of the top teams in the Canberra region, twice representing the ACT in the round of 32 against a Community League team, well, who are fighting to stay in the competition and looking to create the quintessential cup set. My name's Russ Gibbs. Steve Forsher is joining me in the very echoey South Jerrabomberra Regional Sporting Complex, but very comfortable it is too, Steve. Welcome along.
Thanks, Russ. Nice to be here. My debut at this particular facility, and it really is first class. Great pitch. Yeah, a little bit echoey, but we can live with that. Both teams will get the opportunity to play their brand of football on this surface. Really good lights, no excuses at all for a poor performance.
Can't really complain about the state of the venue, can we, at all? It's a great place to be. The other game tonight is at Gungahlin enclosed. Belconnen United will play Queanbeyan City. We'll try and keep you across that one as well. They're all playing for a place in Monday's draw, 11 o'clock at the Capital Football offices. On the Capital Football YouTube, I'll be there, and we're going to pull out some names from the hat that will include Ugali, Canberra Croatia, Gungahlin United, Brindabella Blues, Tuggeranong United, and Monero Panthers, who joined them last night with a 7-0 win over West Canberra Wanderers. I referred to it in my report today, Steve, as death by 1,000 cuts, because Monero, they're in charge from minute one of that match.
Yeah, I didn't catch it all, but it really was a one-sided game, and I guess that's what everybody expected, that Monero would do it comfortably, and they certainly did. It couldn't have gone much worse for West Canberra Wanderers, because as well as being on the end of a 7-0 thrashing, they also had a player sent off, so they'll miss it for the weekend.
They did. It was Lachlan Terry. Now, Lachlan Terry played for Yarrabee at Melrose Synthetic last year in that game that went to penalties. He was carried off having injured his knee on a stretcher. He was back there last night in his new colours for West Canberra Wanderers. As you mentioned, got sent off after having scored an own goal earlier in the game. He will be sick of the sight of Melrose Synthetic, and and he's got to go back there as a player.
No, you won't be going back.
He has to. He plays for West Canberra Wanderers.
No, I think he'll only play the away games.
But the poor lad, he's had a horrible time of it in Australia Cup games there. It was a bit unfortunate last night to get the send-off. It had to be a send-off. The referee had no choice. Christian Kreskus made his way through. Giuseppe Tyne. Started yesterday, got himself a hat-trick as well. That's going to put a few question marks over who plays up top perhaps on the weekend.
Well, certainly he's put his name forward in an emphatic way, and I know that the coach and staff at Monero have got a lot of time for Giuseppe. They think that he's got a lot of potential. Certainly he's got a lot of pace. He's a big, strong boy. And yesterday he found his scoring touch. So, yeah, he's put his hand up for a starting spot for sure.
Alongside Stephen Dominici, who missed out yesterday. He had a slight hip knock, but he was there just in case they needed him on the bench. They didn't. Daniel Barac scored again as well. There was a couple of cracking goals, Ryan Straub and Luca McCaw as well, for the 7-0 victory for the Panthers, and it's put them through. Last year they beat the Wanderers 7-1 at that stage. This year they won 7-0. They'll find out who they will play on Monday. As I mentioned, Tigers have been in the Australia Cup qualifying final 4 times. They won it in 2019 and 2021. That was back-to-back. There was no 2020 because of the COVID. And they were runners-up in 2014 and 2016. 2014, the first year we went through this process. They lost to Tuggeranong United. You were there, I think, weren't you, Steve? But, not for the final.
No, I joined.
We joined afterwards. It's been the season I was with you. And for that very first foray into the Australia Cup. And still the only team to have won an away game.
That's right, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's something that Tuggeranong can hang the hats on. It's quite a record, considering that we're that far away from it in distance, in time, I mean. You would have thought that record would have gone by the board, but it hasn't. It's held its own.
And you can still remember it like it was yesterday, the flight over and the walk and everything like that, and the party afterwards. Well, parts of it anyway. Tigers FC, start to the season hasn't been great, has it? 2-0 up against Ugali after 20 minutes. They were cruising in Griffith, and we thought, oh, here we go. This is what we expect from this expensively, I will say, assembled squad. It's a good squad, very big one. And then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off. 2-2. Could have won it, could have lost it. And then against the Panthers on Friday, well, they were ripped apart. Haven't quite, we thought, got the balance right in midfield just yet. There was gaps opening up in defence as well. Yeah. We will go through the team in a minute, but this evening's team, I don't think it's going to give us any clue as to how they're going to play on the weekend.
No, having looked at the lineup, and like you say, you'll go through it in a minute, it looks like they've picked a team to, one, give players some minutes in a game, and also it's a very attacking lineup, so they're obviously looking to score a lot of goals. Well,
let's go through it then, Steve May, as well, 4 minutes before kick-off. We think Ali Effie's going to line up as follows. Gabe Tarazi's going to get a start in goal for them. Only played 2 NPL games in his career, the young goalkeeper, and he gets a start in the cup game here. Noah Steinacker and Hamish Wells likely to be the fullbacks, Sam Whittier and Michael Southam, the central defensive midfielders. We think Tomohiro Ogawa might play as a 1, and then Perm, how you're going to figure out this from the front 5, which includes Augustin Bangura and William Akio, which we think will be behind the front 3 of Archie McGregor, Nick Popovic and Nick Taneski. It's a frightening attacking outfit, and you can add on the bench Nikos Kalfa, Shandon Whitehead, Nathan Medjic, Christian Baresi, Angus Bailey and Willem Lejeune. If Majura thought they were going to go a little bit easy on them and play some of the 23s, well, I'm sorry, guys, they've picked half an attacking Arsenal.
It's a very, very strong lineup. They're obviously taking no chances with this. I mean, there's a little bit of pressure on Tigers because of their relatively poor start to the season. They can't afford to slip up tonight. They don't want a banana skin. I mean, the magic of the cup is built around this sort of upset. And if fixtures just continue to be routine results for the favoured teams, then the magic of the cup disappears a little bit. So from a Majura point of view, it's nothing to lose. Let's get at them. From a Tigers point of view, it's we can't afford another slip-up.
And you think we're probably where we are with that lineup? Ogawa with Bangura and Akio playing behind those front 3?
I think so. Yeah, I think they'll play. It'll rotate a little bit. You might find Taneski dropping a little bit deeper, but I think if the 2 nominal 10s go forward, they will certainly in rest defence have cover. So I don't think it'll be a fixed sort of 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, but it'll certainly be fluent, and those 2 guys that we mentioned, Bangura and Akio, I think will start as the attacking midfielders. If
you played them where they would normally play, you've got a 4-1-5 formation. Yeah. Majura FC, well, unsurprisingly, they've gone with a 5-3-2, trying to keep it a bit narrow and tighter at the back. Keegan Jackson in goal, quite an experienced goalkeeper. They've made 4 changes from the team that beat Woden Valley. One of them, Michael Georgieski, will play in centre-back alongside Matt Middleton and Apu Huck. Another change sees Vasilius Moulakis on the left-hand side. Henry Ricketts will play on the right. That's the back 5. Midfield 3 sees Keegan Ramirez-Hodgson on the right. He's come into the team today. Robbie Spendelwind, who's supposed to be playing today, is sick and he can't. Matt Murcott and Kanan Sluice will play in midfield. Sluice came off the bench in the last game. Up top, Reggie Kai and Rory Larkin caused problems for Woden Valley. Rory Larkin causes problems for everyone. He's going to be one to keep an eye on. Former Canberra Olympic goalkeeper in the Premier League doing his stuff up front for Majura. On the bench, we've got Blade... there, can't read my writing, it's too dark. Blade Hollier, Paul Sivas, Protchamp Bosnet, Samuel Moore, and I can't even read the last one, it's too dark.
Well, it's not a lineup that we're familiar with. Keegan Jackson I know reasonably well from his time at Belconnen. He's a decent goalkeeper. He also had a spell at ANU in the CPL, and Rory Larkin sort of picks himself, and I expect that he will be a very busy and will cause a lot of aggravation for a back 4 that's proved itself to be a little bit vulnerable over the last couple of games for Tigers. So looking forward to the game to see how it pans out. If Majura can stay in it for 25, half an hour, you never know. Tigers might just start to panic a little bit, and if they can pinch a goal, it'll really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Krishnan Sanjayan is the other substitute. Now I've got a bit of light. As Tigers go through their paces wearing their orange today. Their away kit of silver, the grey, is going to be changed to purple, I'm told.
Right.
Because they weren't pleased with they couldn't see the names and numbers on it. So off to the purple it will be for away games. Our match referee is Josh Iser. Benjamin Last and Harold Spanner are the assistants. Majura Football Club were formed in 1981. They're based out of Dixon. They've been there for quite some time. They finished 6th in the Community League 1 last season, 21 points behind league champions Western Molonglo FC and 12 points off the finals. This is their 4th entry into Australia Cup qualifying. The furthest they've reached is the quarterfinals last season when they beat by Gungahlin. They'll do well to get there this year. I did mention off air to you, Steve, and I can tell everyone at home, Majura's league season was supposed to start on the weekend against Cooma Tigers. Now, Cooma Tigers were unable to field a team, forfeited. So Majura won by 3-0, and they will be nice and fresh for this one. Now, there's no love lost between Cooma Tigers and Tigers FC. And playing devil's advocate, I'm not suggesting that Cooma perhaps gave Majura a bit of a rest. But in some ways I am.
You are a renowned conspiracy theorist who called for an inquiry because you said Humpty Dumpty was pushed.
One of those, anyway. I don't think there's anything in that. It's just one of those quirks,
of course,
that happen. Anyway, Majura will be keen to get themselves going here tonight, and it's going to be a tough old day for them for sure, you would think, but we are hoping that they'll be able to put up a show for us, and they will not die wanting.
Look, I think if they can give a good account of themselves, that will be more than satisfactory. You never know in cup football. I mean, logic says that Tigers should win and win comfortably, and probably will. But the ball's round, pitch is green and square, and everything is there for a cup upset if Majura are good enough to take the opportunity.
Majura had to go to extra time to beat Woden Valley. They were fortunate to beat Woden Valley 2-1. Roy Larkin scored 9 minutes into extra time. They could have been 2 down in that game before they got themselves back into it, thanks to the equalising goal from Reggie Kai, who's over the ball with Roy Larkin, and that will signal the start of the game. Majura in the blue, attacking the goal to our right in the first half. Sluice lifted towards Keegan Ramirez Hodgson, who you might remember from your Belconnen days, Steve.
The name's not familiar, no. But I'll take your word for it that he was there.
Keegan Jackson is another former Belconnen
Keegan Jackson, yeah, I remember Keegan well. I know Keegan quite well. He, not a few years ago, he had a very serious motorbike accident, and that sort of curtailed his progress.
Here's William Akio. We've seen glimpses of him, the quality of the South Sudan international. Getting back to full fitness, Sam Whittier, Michael Southam as expected out wide, and it is the two we thought in the middle. Popovic wins it back. Bangura on his debut. Simon from Gungahlin gets an early shot away.
Yeah, Akio has, I mean, he came off the bench, didn't he, in Griffith, and for the first 10 or 15 minutes was on, he looked electric, and then the same thing happened last Friday night against Monero, where he started the game really well, and then just faded as much as most of his teammates did. So tonight's an opportunity for him to really show people what he's got.
Jackson away with the first goal kick, helped on by Merkets. Gets in there again, but Bangura got there first. Chance for Archie McGregor to stretch his legs.
Fairly even so far, Russ.
Good challenge over on that far side. Early days, of course.
Yeah.
Whittier, Southam. We can expect the Tigers to get a lot of football here.
I'd be a bit surprised if they don't dominate possession, that's for sure.
Noah Steinacker. Tomeo Ogawa wants to put Popovic in over the top in a chase against Matt Middleton. He showed a good turn of speed there, the central defenders, to stay with Popovic.
Yeah.
2-2 for Nick Popovic so far at the start of the year. Scored a very well-taken equaliser, consolation, I should say, in the game against the Panthers at Strider Park.
His goal against Griffith was a decent one.
2 tidy finishes. Took it to 55 in the NPL, Nick Popovic.
He probably would have had a lot more, but he has suffered from injuries over the last 4 or 5 years.
He has been cruel, doesn't he?
Yeah.
First glimpse of Roy Larkin.
He's certainly one of the more potent attackers in the local competition.
Taneski, Bangura. Down under the challenge. Brought down by Mulakis on this near side, who had a little word to say to Augustin Bagira as well. Tigers wanting to get on with it. Ogawa. Well, that is a rarity. Play that back, because you don't see that very often, do you? Tomohiro Ogawa with a misplaced pass.
No, I mean, his real strength is his tidy distribution. Not his only strength, but that's one of them. And that is a very unusual occurrence for him to miss such an easy pass.
Wales. McGregor's made the run. Went a little too early, according to the assistant on the far side. Maybe just a fraction.
Oh. Courageous.
Van Ramirez Hodgson. Let's play back for Apu Hock. Tigers have had 2 forays, as I mentioned, into the round of 32. One ended in 0-2 defeat to Hume, and one ended in 0-3 defeat to RPL Leichhardt. Hume City side was very good indeed. At Deakin Stadium. The RPL Leichhardt game played up the road here at Seaford Oval.
Oh, I was there. Yeah, I was there for that game. They actually played really well that night. Look, Jacob Colding goal had one of his best ever games. He kept them in the game almost single-handedly. Because at one stage they were down to 9 men, if I recall.
They did, didn't they? They were ended with 9. Ogawa. Crowd very sparse tonight. Ball through the middle for towards Sineski. There's a few on the far side, but I think most of the people that are here are sat in front of us.
Yeah,
You'll
probably.
be able to see them.
Probably, but I think it's only friends and family.
It is a strange old venue, isn't it? Because it is brand new, but it is in the middle of, well, nowhere really. There's nothing around it, is there?
No. But it's, I mean, I come from way over the other side, and I thought it would take me a lot longer to get here, but it was quite an easy drive.
Beautiful
Even given
venue
the
as well.
traffic.
Hoke. Ooh, physical on Ogawa. Who felt that one?
Yeah. I think he's winded at least, or he might have done a rib here.
Apu Hock was just going nowhere but through Tomohiro Ogawa to win that ball.
Didn't take a backward step, did he?
Absolutely not. Taking into account the grand final, Tigers are, in fact, on a 3-match run without a win in all competitions.
They'll be a little disappointed with the way they've started the season. That is for sure. But it's such early days yet, they won't be panicking, that's for sure.
Steinacker playing in the middle of the defensive line. Akio to turn. Slight change to what we thought the formation that the central defenders might be. Michael Southam's gone to the right-hand side where Noah Steinacker's played a couple of times this season. Steinacker's come in. They don't miss anything with that swap.
No, it's much of a muchness. Michael Southam's played there regularly at his different clubs. If need be, they can swap it over. Steinacker will drop in there. But at the moment...
Just Ali Effie keeping us guessing, isn't it?
That's all it is.
Southam.
It does allow people like Southam to get forward. He does love it. And you can see now he's way over this side of the park.
Good ball to find Popovic. And here is Southam, a chance for him perhaps to get across into the penalty area. Dealt with. And Ramirez Hodgson can get rid of it. But as expected, Tigers having plenty of the ball.
Yeah, and the problem for Majura is that although they're clearing the ball, getting it away from their goal, they're not able to retain any possession. So it's just going to keep coming back. And sooner or later, you would expect Tigers to get the breakthrough.
Steinacker, Wales. Akio went forward, wanted it. Wales chose not to give it to him.
Once he made that run, he brought defenders in, and really Wales needed to go and recycle. Would have been a better option.
It's a very dry pitch. We walked on it briefly beforehand, didn't we?
But it's nice and spongy, isn't it? It's not a hard pitch. It is dry.
It is dry, but it's not hard, no.
It's a really nice surface. You wouldn't mind playing on here every week.
Whittier for Popovic. Flag goes up again. This offside trap from Majura is working very well at the moment.
Yeah. It's a dangerous trap for a team that's sort of second favourite in this to be actually playing such a high line, because they've only got to get it right once. You've got to get it right every time.
Last year against Gungahlin United, they held out to the 11th minute when Jack Green scored.
How long have we been playing now? We're going to break the record?
Well, we're 9 at the moment, so...
Yeah, good start for them then.
Didn't blow out till late last year. They lost 7-0. Lukman Ahmed Shobu made it 2-0 at half-time, but then it was 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes from Romeo Jambrek, who ended up with 4 around the hour mark. That was that really blew it apart in the second half.
That's the danger.
Fitness.
Yeah, that's the danger, that if the dam breaks, then it's a flood.
Anthony Timotheo rounded that one out with 5 minutes to play.
Dropped into the CPL this year.
Got a win, didn't they, Canberra Olympic?
Yeah, they did, but the cup run came to a sudden and abrupt end against Tuggeranong.
At the boots of Steve Nealon.
Yeah, lovely hat-trick, wasn't it?
Knock down there for Majura, who will be pretty pleased with what they've seen in the first 10 minutes of this cup tie.
The goalkeeper hasn't been brought into action at all yet, has he?
Not at all. You'll be able to watch Gungahlin United play Queanbeyan City on Saturday at High Street. All for Larkin. I'll be there. Looking for someone to come with me if I can find someone. If anyone's out there, I'll put a note out. If you fancy a bit of analysis on the weekends, feel free to do so. It's the problem with Saturday games, everyone's busy.
Unfortunately, that's the case.
Yeah. Sunday afternoon, you can hear Jacob Clear take you through Canberra Croatia versus Ugali, and Jordan Bocock will take you through Monera Panthers versus Tuggeranong United, as I'm at Canberra United against Wellington Phoenix.
They're at 4 o'clock, aren't they?
3 o'clock, Canberra United kick off.
3 o'clock.
The same as everything else. Everything in Canberra seems to kick off at 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Not particularly good planning if you wanted to go and watch Canberra United and your local team.
All 4 NPL women's teams play on Sunday afternoon as well. McGregor has peeled away, and here's a chance, but the flag goes up again. He's tucked it away, but not for the first time they've been caught offside. There wasn't much in that one either.
No, it's getting closer and closer. They're living on the edge, Majura, but so far so good. There isn't anything that we didn't expect out of Tigers lineup, Russ. I know we looked at it and said, you know, they've got 15 strikers on the park, but it is more or less as we predicted.
It is. It looks like that way, doesn't it? Will it be a case of too many cooks? We will see. It's come off of Hamish Wales. 11 minutes gone. No score. Tigers versus Majura.
Samson Khan not here tonight?
Not on the match card. He is here.
But he's not playing?
Not on the card, no.
Because he came off early on Friday night, didn't he?
Might see Shandon Whitehead tonight.
That'll be his first appearance for the year.
And Nikos Kalfas as well is here.
I thought he would go for a lot longer, Nico Kalfas.
McGregor.
Good to see him back.
Look at the pace of Archie McGregor and the power to get away here. Archie McGregor goes down under the challenge. Question was asked as he was taking the foot away. Was his other foot taken away by Opu Hawk?
Yeah, I think he probably just did enough to not be punished there. I thought he matched him for pace, got his body in the way enough without committing the foul.
You can see why McGregor asked the question, no?
Yeah.
Ricketts to play it forward. Now Larkin will try and get under it, but he can't. Rolls away.
So if they can get to the 15-minute mark at 0-0, they'll be relatively happy.
And the pressure might build on the Tigers.
Yeah.
Having the starts of the season, they're a much better squad than the results have suggested so far. Wales plays it forward. That should be easy for Middleton to leave go for Jackson. Sluice. Sits a couple of desks away from me, Caden Sluice. Steve?
One of your neighbours, is he?
No, in the Capital Football office.
Oh, right.
He works for
yeah.
Capital Football. And he was a little bit daunted on Monday when we found out the Tigers lost 5-2. Wondered if the backlash might come, but they're looking forward to it, he said.
Well, why would you not? I mean, nobody expects you to win. If you go out and give a really good account of yourself, you've had a great night, it's a great occasion, you can really enjoy it. It's like a free kick.
Here goes Southam. Challenge on that far side.
Yeah, got him a bit late.
There's a couple of names you might know out there as well. Michael Georgieski from M&M Podcasts.
Yeah.
Playing as in the number 6 for Majura at the back there. Roy Larkin, who I mentioned, you will know. Henry Ricketts, who's a right back, used to be an intern of mine at Capital Football as well.
I thought I recognised the name.
You would have seen some of his stories around. Plenty of names that have been involved in football at the Majura and still are. Free kick here, Nick Taneski to send it in. First real opportunity to get those massive players onto it, but not with a delivery like that from Nick Taneski. Hamish Wells, we've talked about the height of this Tigers team in the 2 games they've played so far this season. Taneski again, deeper ball this time. Jackson plucks it out the night sky.
Yes, they've certainly got an aerial threat. I mean, I think it was you mentioning on Friday night that one of the best headers isn't the tallest with Sammy Whittier. He's
Absolutely.
one of the better players in the air. And Michael Southam's already scored a header this year.
Taneski. Ramirez Hodgson beaten to it by Bangira. Popovic takes over and looks for Akio down the middle. Didn't quite come off for William Akio. Popovic picks up the rebounds away from Sluice. That's a good block by Georgieski. It will be a corner kick.
Give them a lot of credit, though. They're scrambling really well. I mean, they're going to get tired having to chase this Tigers team around. They're under a lot of pressure, as they have been from the start. They basically can't get out of their own half. But in terms of scrambling, in terms of doing the jobs that they've been asked to do, they're carrying out the plan to good effect.
Hitting the quarter-hour mark, Taneski to swing it in. Southam near post, and he's found the net. Michael Southam, who scored the header against Ugali around about this time, quarter of an hour in, meets the corner, and the Tigers have made the breakthrough.
Very, very similar header, was it? Same sort of run from a little bit deeper to the near post. He meets it first and deftly placed into the far post. Good header, good goal. The breakthrough that's been coming for quite some time.
Mentioned that they've got some height, and Michael Southam is with it. That's his 2nd goal of the season in all competitions. Only scored 2 in his entire career before tonight.
It was a little bit of surprise that he didn't start on Friday night against Monero after he'd played the game in Ugali, scored a goal, but he found himself on the bench. He's back in the starting 11 tonight and giving Aliesi something to think about in the future.
Bit of a settler for the Tigers. They've got the goal that many expected them to get. Reggie Kai will get after this, and Noah Steinacker will be able to tidy up. Gabe Tarazi, a quiet debut so far. Probably how he likes it.
Well, yeah, I should imagine that he was delighted to be picked for tonight's game, but he's not going to have a lot to do.
Good distribution, though, to find Southam.
He's highly regarded as a goalkeeper of some potential. I think he went to Griffith and didn't get any game time.
He didn't get any minutes, no.
And I don't know that he did on Friday night.
Southam shots. I think Josh Smith played in goal for the 23s in both games.
So he'll be looking forward to the hit out, that's for sure.
Frustrating time for a goalkeeper, isn't it, when you're the backup to the first grade? That's given away by Middleton, and this might be trouble. It's going to come from McGregor, and it's 2-0. They can't afford to give away chances like that. And Archie McGregor, well, he was denied earlier, but he wasn't there. And all of a sudden, it's 2 in 2 minutes. And the Tigers, well, they're well in command.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier on that once the seal's broken, it's very, very hard to get yourselves back into the game. And that was sloppy in possession from Majura. The finish wasn't the highest quality. I mean, it went just about under Keegan Jackson, but nonetheless, 2-0. And it will be an absolute miracle if Majura can come back in any way, shape or form from that scoreline.
Sometimes, Steve, when you hit them that close to the goalkeeper, it's hard for them to adjust, isn't it? I don't think it was the best finish from McGregor, but you know what? It's gone in. He won't care.
It's worth the same as a really good finish.
And they've suddenly got 2 in 2 minutes. And
And I don't think it'll be the last, Russ.
Well, they have picked a side to score goals, haven't they?
Yep.
There's going to be no mercy here. And I don't think Majura will want mercy.
No.
You'd rather a team came and gave you their all.
Certainly, I think for an hour, Tigers will be 100% at it. If it gets, 5, 6, 7-0, then you might see them take the foot off the pedal. But at the moment, they're well and truly in control.
When you've got a squad as big as they've got, though, and lots of players that want to play football, when you get minutes on the park, you want to impress.
Yes, you
This
do.
man, particularly again, Bangira, who's just joined the team. So that's the worry for the lower ranked sides, is that even if you're taking off the players that have done that after an hour, the ones that are going to come in on, your Christian Barazis, your Angus Baileys, Nathan Medjic, Shannon Whitehead, Nikos Kalfas, they all want to start.
Of course they do.
And they want to show what they've got.
And I think Christian Barazzi in particular, having been substituted in the first half on Friday night, will be very keen to get back on the horse that drew him.
Larkins after this to chase. Steinecker got there first. Tarazi can find Wales. Plenty of time for him to bring it forward and allowed to advance a long way. McGregor. Look at that. Taneski.
Yeah, there is a bit of a rotation going on there. You see Taneski dropping into a midfield role to pick up one of those 10s.
Southam finds McGregor again. Chance here. Hamish Wales made the run forward. McGregor tried to find him. He can recycle. Bangira. Taneski. Quick scan to see where everybody is. Popovic might be offside here and is. Decent stop from Jackson anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't to know it was offside.
Well, that's about 4 now.
Yes, it's becoming a recurring problem for Tigers, just not timing that run or pass forward. But like I say, you've only got to get it right once and it's a goal.
They probably don't need to be quite so far ahead. I mean, give a yard or so. There's plenty of pace in this front three.
Well, I think they can be a little bit more patient as well in possession. No need to be trying to penetrate, as soon as they get into that final third.
Ogwa.
That's the second one that he's played out of touch. Little bit of a misunderstanding, probably symptomatic of the way they've started the season.
Well, out of 18 matches last season in the league, Steve, Majura only drew 1. They won 7 and lost the other 10. They're a bit of an all-or-nothing side. And at the moment, it's looking like the latter.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's looking like a nothing game for them.
But it'll be a great experience for them. It's a great touch from Josh Iser, who even ducked into it.
That's in.
Wasn't far away, was it? At the top of the net from Sam Whittier. I'd book him for kicking it away.
Who's he going to give this to?
Well, I should have just played it on, I reckon.
You might as well have.
So this is a weird stat I found out in the week, Steve. In the last 3 matches in all competition which they haven't won, Tigers have scored 7, but they have conceded 11. So in 3 matches, the last 3 games that they haven't won in, they've scored 7 goals before tonight. It's a bit too hefty. But they conceded 11, so defensively there's been a problem.
Well, if you look at this season alone, they've scored 4. 4 goals away from home, 2 in each game. But they've conceded 7. So it's defensively that they've really got the problem. We noticed it on Friday that they couldn't pick up the runners from midfield and the marking within the box was very loose. So there is a bit of a defensive issue for them that they'll need to sort out. And it's not going to be tested tonight, I don't think. So they're not going to know if it's improved.
Might be a chance to get it right at the other end, though.
Yes.
And in the middle parts.
Well, certainly in terms of keeping possession, creating chances, getting their combinations going, it's a really good opportunity because no matter the opposition, playing a game is better than training.
Sam Whittier. William Accio. Tommy Hill, Ogawa. Now Hamish Wales. That's a good-looking ball, that is, towards the far post. Georgeski did well.
He did really well.
Got caught by Popovic. I did actually say, Steve, about this conversation, and I'm going to tell you, I took a sample of about 15 players, and I asked them, would you rather train or would you rather play? And believe it or not, one of them said train. Now, I won't tell you who it was, but because I'm like, is there something wrong with you? But I thought it was going to be a fait accompli that every single player would say play, but clearly...
I've never heard of any player actually choosing to train over playing.
Well, there was one.
Oh, there you go. If I'm his coach, I'd let him train.
Get out there and run, mate. Hamish Wales to play it forward. Nick Popovich to spin away, and then the angle ball looking for Akio. He's got some pace, but the angle favoured Jackson. Just tuned in, Tigers 2 goals in 2 minutes. Watching live of the Hahn Australia Cup qualifying round 4, brought to you by our sponsors, Allstate Towing, Electro Tinj, Deakin Club, Kitro Excavations, Rhythm Snowsports, Canberra PC Repair, LJ Hooker, and Xela Construction. If you know anyone over at Belcon, Steve, try and find out what's going on. Ramirez Hodgson can't keep that in play. The other cup tie tonight. Steinacker in the air. Helped on by Taneski, and it's going to find McGregor. Popovich has made the run again. But McGregor is going himself. And Akio is going down the middle. That's a great angle ball. Here's William Akio, and that's a fine save by Keegan Jackson to deny the international. Super stop. Could have been 3. Perhaps should have been. Ogawa. Bangura. Taneski. McGregor. Mulakis brought it away briefly. Bangura. Reggie Kai is trying to push his way forward. Whittier. Plenty of time to pick a pass. Elects for Southam outside him. And deflection will be a corner. 25 minutes in, Tigers ruling the roost. 2 to the goods.
But the Majura coach has done a good job in getting them organised, because he wants to play with 5 at the back, and you can see straight away, as soon as they've lost the ball, they get back into the right shape, or the shape that they must have worked on. The problem they're finding is that they're getting into that shape, but they're not quick enough to actually track the runners. At the moment, they're getting away with a few offsides. That's a temporary solution.
Matt Plevy, the Majura coach. Another who did a bit of work for Capital Football. Into the area again. Akio meets it and then hits the crossbar. The top of the bar. They are a threat of set pieces.
0-0 at Gungala.
Well, I could have guessed that.
Yeah, but you asked me to find out. Fair goes.
You did find out. Tell whoever you it is to keep us updated. You want to give a shout out for whoever's doing that, mate?
That was Drew Gallagher, a message from Drew Gallagher,
Thanks,
the manager
Drew.
of the first team.
Appreciate the update.
Tommy Jadrick says we should have been broadcasting that one.
How? And from where?
Yeah, I don't know.
Tom Gungarden enclosed on the far field, Steve.
Yeah, we'll just go the other side of the fence.
Nowhere to go.
No, no.
Sluice. Mulakis. Can only broadcast where you can broadcast.
No, Tommy will be delighted that I threw him under the bus.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Tommy. Mulakis. Archie McGregor's got a word to say about it. Vasilis Mulakis did pull him back there.
Yeah, he did. Had a handful of shirts. Watching too much telly. It's one of my pet hates. I wish referees would do something about it.
Shirt pulling. Wales. Whittier, loads of space. Sam Whittier wants a shot from distance. What do you feel about your centre-back wearing lilac boots there, Steve? Are they lilac? They look like it.
The game has changed, Russell.
It has, hasn't it? Mind you, Sam Whittier's not your usual centre-back.
No. He's probably a modern centre-back, because the way the game's evolved, the centre-back has to be a ball player rather than a straight up and down defender, a simple stop him if you can, man. But and Woody fits that profile.
Merkett heads it on. Ricketts goes down, gets himself a free kick.
This could be the first ball into the penalty area.
Okay, Tarazi, who's been largely unemployed at the moment.
Here's how stats can be misleading for you, Russ, though. Ian Ferguson will know this, but Bolton Wanderers played last night. They lost 1-0 at home to Rotherham. They had 33 shots. Rotherham had 1.
Well, there you go.
70% possession, 33 shots, and lost.
That's not surprising, is it? It's Bolton. Here goes Taneski. And McGregor's got some room. And he's away again, and that'll be a yellow card.
At least.
For Hahn. Oh, and it's red. It's a straight red for the fullback for bringing down McGregor, and this is going to make Majura's night much harder than it was.
It's a foul, and for me it's a yellow. He's a long way from goal. There's other defenders around. That's harsh.
That's the argument.
Perhaps.
That's the argument. I'm looking at the replay now. I mean, yeah, there was a covering defender coming across, arguably. So, anyway, the referee was there and has seen it and has reduced Majura to 10, and that's going to make life very hard for them, as if it wasn't already. If you have a look at the replay, you get the chance at half-time, Steve will show you. It's arguable that maybe I think it might have been Georgeski or Middleton coming across to cover. Would they have got to McGregor? Well, that's debatable. He is quick, isn't he?
He is, but I'm not sure he would have got to the ball either.
Which might have been with Keegan Jackson in the first instance, but the referee's made the call.
Yeah, and he's it was close to being last man and was, one of those 50-50s, I guess. The referee was entitled to give it.
We're not going to be able to call it a game changer, I don't think.
No.
But it's going to make it hard for Majura. We're down to 10 for 60 minutes plus of this encounter, and maybe staring down the barrel of another one here. William Akio, former Scottish Premier League player, over the top of the ball. Spells with Ross County and Wraith Rovers. 6 times capped by South Sudan.
Yeah, there's not too many players in Canberra can boast that sort of resume.
Unsurprisingly, the referees backing each other. Nathan Shakespeare says it was a straight red. Dog soak. Akio from the free kick into the wall.
Nathan Shakespeare is no stranger to red cards.
Absolutely not. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, he was the last man, wasn't he? So
close to it.
And you can make the argument all day about whether he was going to get the ball or not. The fact is, he didn't get the chance to because he was brought down.
There's no doubting it was a foul. Whether it warranted a red card, debatable.
I guarantee you that this will be one of the decisions, Steve, that if you ask players, they'll say no. If you ask referees, they'll all say yes.
It might depend on which players.
Archie McGregor might think it was red.
Yeah.
All that matters was is it was.
Oh, yeah, it's given now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like I say, it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. Unfortunately for Apu Hawk, it will make a difference to his nights and his season. We'll have a couple of weeks on the bench. Here's McGregor. He's looking lively, though, Archie McGregor.
Yeah, he's far enough away, isn't he? I've just seen the replay, Russ, and the second defender is a long way away.
Yeah, he might not have got there. Look, I don't really have any qualms with the call. We're just making a chat for argument's sake, aren't we?
Yeah.
Majura, Southam. Not many are going to quibble with it. When you talk about orange cards, Steve, you know, between the yellow and red, that was a distinct darker shade of orange, I think you'll find.
Unlike the one last night, which was clear cut, this one probably had a little bit more doubt about it. Not a lot. Now that I've seen the replay, I don't think the referee can be criticised for sending him off.
But it gave us something to talk about.
Aye.
32 minutes in. Whittier fancies it. Jackson watched it all the way.
That's an ambitious attempt.
But thanks, Nathan Shakespeare, for clearing that up for us anyway. Glad he's watching. Up jumps Steinacker. Ogawa. Popovic, and here's Akio. No. Again, tight, that one. Kicking the ball away. Now they're asking for the yellow card for kicking the ball away, and I've got I mean, we're either playing it or we're not, are we, Steve?
Well, the rules are the rules, I guess.
Well, I thought so. I've often said, though, if you do that and you score, it's fine. If you kick the ball away and you miss, that's when you should get a card.
What, for missing?
Absolutely. If you're through on goal and you're offside and you want to kick the ball away, if you put it in the net, I think that should be okay. You should be backing yourself. Element of double jeopardy to it, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But I think Majura are going to sort of appeal for everything now to try and get it evened up a little bit.
And like I said, Archie McGregor might well have got on the end of it, and he probably would have. too many arguments. Steinacker. Ogawa. Popovic. McGregor.
I think from a Tigers perspective, this game is, you know, in the bag, more or less in the bag. And nothing's going to change the fact that they're going to be in the hat on Monday. But from their own point of view, they want a performance that's really exciting, that really gets people up off the seats.
Something to talk about.
Yes, and you know, that they can walk away from this game saying, we played really well, despite a lack of quality in the opposition, or the fact that the opposition was down to 10 men. We played well. We played the way we wanted to play. And we did it at a good pace with a good intensity. And if they can't do that, they might just come away from this just a little flat.
Well, they've got 10 minutes to half-time, roughly.
You know, it's not a game that I think their previous results will allow them to just go through the motions. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
And I think you're probably right. Normally, it's just about a question of getting it done, getting in the hat, and that's what you're doing. You don't get style results due in cup football. But like you say, their previous results mean that people are expecting a performance at some stage from this team. I was unlucky. Ogawa. McGregor just took his eye off it. Middleton gets rid of it, especially against 10 now.
Well, it's really attack versus defence for the next sort of 60 minutes. And they need to show that they can actually break down a stacked line or a deep line. They need, because they'll just play with two banks of four with one up front now. And they need to be able to show that they've got the guile to actually break that down.
Southam crossfield for McGregor. Took his eye off it momentarily, causing problems for Mulakis. Well away by Middleton. Kai couldn't get under control. It's going to come straight back again.
McGregor's got to use his left foot a bit more.
Look at the room for Michael Southam. Akio. Southam drags his shot wide. Not too bad there, the little 1-2.
That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about. Those sorts of moves, those little combinations there that create openings. That's what people want to see from Tigers. That's what Tigers want to see from themselves, I'm sure.
Well, they scored twice. Southam. Popovic. Good tackle from Middleton, I think that was.
Yeah.
Or Merkert, rather, I should say. Steinacker. Matt Merkert putting himself about in the middle of the park. Henry Ricketts has picked that one off. Now he's got a couple of runners ahead of him. Can't get it to Larkin because Whittier was there. Hamish Wales. There's a little bit of a chill in the air tonight. It's almost
lovely,
like
actually.
autumn's
It's
coming
beautiful.
in. It's a beautiful night.
Yeah, it's gorgeous for football. I mean, there's very little dew about on the grass as well, so it is stayed rather dry.
Nick Teneski. Ogawa. Nick Teneski. Ogawa again. Here's Southam. There's overhit over the top. I've got a bit of a bad neck today, Steve, on my left, and there's no correlation with the fact that I was at Monera last night looking at one way for most of the game. I actually thought that we were talking about this out in the office. So the Panthers beat Wanderers 7-1 last year in the same round, and they beat them 7-0 last night, which suggests the performance was worse. But in fact, I think it was probably a bit better from the Wanderers, from Bernie Toe's team. And
There was one or two individuals I thought caught the eye. There was a guy played in midfield, a blonde guy, I can't remember.
Josh Hickman, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did okay. I only saw the second half, though. And
Yeah, I mean, my point was that the previous year they were 5 down in 19 minutes and the game was dead.
Yeah.
Last night they stuck to it for most of the time. And yeah, after about an hour when it got to 3 or 4, it was all over. But I thought the actual overall performance might have been a bit better. But anyway,
Was it 3-0 at half-time or 2?
it was 2 at the break.
Yeah. I think that's a reasonable achievement for West Canberra Wanderers. To only be 2-0 down against a very good Monero side at half-time is probably as much as they could expect.
Well, Majura aren't too far away from the same, down to 10 men. 8 minutes to go to the interval. Southam, Akio.
Yeah, it's about the third sending off in the competition. I think Brenda Bella had somebody send off against White Eagles.
Taneski brings out the best in people, the cup. Everyone wants to put themselves on the line.
Well, there's more than one way of getting your name in the referees, or bringing yourself to the referee's attention.
Popovic. Kai comes back to win it. Merkert finds Sluice, who sliced it. Southam's had plenty of touches of the football in this first half. Popovic. Ogawa tried to help it round the corner. Well, picked up by Georgieski.
Just not quite coming off on a consistent basis for them, is it? They're trying the right things, but it's just not quite working for them.
Wales. Georgieski's touch. Ricketts is bundled off it by Akio, and Georgieski comes across to win it. What's been impressive by Majura is for me, Stephen, you might agree, you might not, it's been their organisation. Their line of five at the back's been pretty good. They've defensively dropped in, haven't they? They've looked after each other. Yeah,
that's what I was saying before, Russ, that the coach has got them well drilled. They're actually playing exactly how he's asked them to play. You know, obviously anticipating that Tigers are going to have a lot of possession, so he's gone for a defensive structure. And by and large, they've made that work.
Nick Taneski's gone jumping over the fence. Playing ball boy. Chance for the Tigers with 5 minutes to go to add to the 2 goals they scored in very quick succession. Taneski's delivery, and there's Whittier, and it's over the top of the bar.
Good header though. Again, set piece causing Majura problems. That's how the first goal came, with Michael Southam getting on the end of things. Woody this time, and he might be thinking he could have at least got it on target.
I think if we're being probably honest here, Steve, and everybody watching is probably thinking the same. When he went 2-0 with 2 goals in 2 minutes, around the 17-minute mark, we probably thought there was going to be a bucketful, and here's a chance for Bangura. Since then, though, they've had chances, but Majura haven't buckled.
No, I think Tigers, and I sound like a broken record, but I think they need to work on how much football they can play. I mean, at the moment, some of the decision-making's poor, some of their execution's poor, some of it's been very good. When they are good, that's when they look like breaking Majura down, and I think they've got to find more ways of getting those combinations going in and around that penalty area. I think that, you know, the Bangura shot that we've just seen. Here we go.
Come for Kai. I've got news of a goal for you in a minute, Steve, at GEO Stadium, or GEO Gungahlin enclosed, and it's gone to the CPL side. CPL Belconnen United 1, Premier League Queanbeyan City 0. Goal scored by Jake Bishop, I'm told.
Oh, very good. Good result from Belconnen so far.
And the Blue Devils seeking a return to the top flight. Maybe on for a cup upset there.
It will be considered an upset, but Belconnen are a very decent side this year, and if they were to beat Queanbeyan, it wouldn't be a total surprise. I think most people would expect the MPL team to win, but they're newly promoted. It's not as if they're an established MPL team yet.
Middleton's ball into the penalty area. Nodded away.
Yeah, what I was going to say, you know, Bangura's volley, the last one, is an example of just sort of, let's just shoot, let's just...
Here goes McGregor.
That was a better idea.
They're struggling to contain Archie McGregor. Pace and power on this left side. Malakis has had a couple of goes at him, hasn't he, when he's run past him?
Yeah, he's...
trying to knock him off balance.
He's yet to lay a finger on him, really.
Hamish Wales. Malakis. Kai. They just haven't got the time that they normally get in the Community League, of course, on the ball. Akio.
Good turn.
Away from
Grabbed
Ricketts.
him again. It's just happening once too often. Referee's got to put his...
I was going to say that would be a yellow card normally in the MPL, surely.
I mean, that looked like the mercy rule, didn't it?
Maybe feeling guilty about the red card.
No.
Only joking. They are going to tire, though, the Community League outfits.
They're looking a bit leggy now.
McGregor. They've been doing a lot of defending.
Yep.
Bangura, Taneski.
A lot of running without the ball. Even if it's on a short distances, they're running all the time.
Southam. We just tuned in, 2-0 to the Tigers, and they're playing against 10 after Opelhock was sent off. Not too much doubt about it, we've concluded. Always a bit of doubt when you're wearing the blue, I guess. 3 minutes to the break. Ogawa turns away from Kai. Popovic didn't quite get on the same wavelength as Archie McGregor.
Yeah, it was Jake Bishop for Belconnen. Russ?
Confirmation of the goal at GEO.
Apparently some very, very good play down the right-hand side, culminating in Bishop scoring the goal.
Angela Saros' team. Leading, will they be another CPL team in the quarterfinals? Brindabella Blues already there, of course.
How many CPL teams have actually beaten NPL teams to get this far? Or that?
I mean, not many over the years. There
No,
would
I
have
don't
been
think
one
there'll
or
be a
two. You'll remember one of them. You were in charge, ANU. Beat
Oh, yeah,
Belconnen United.
yeah.
McGregor skipping past and is going to be tidied up for Jackson, who's got to be careful here. Out as far as Bangura. Didn't want to raise any memories of that, Steve, but
No,
you brought it up, so.
It wasn't so much that I'd forgotten, I just blocked
it out. And they were very close to getting past Croatia in the semi-final that
They
year
were,
as well,
yeah.
ANU.
I think it went to penalties, I think.
Yeah, there have not been many down the years. I can't think of too many more.
Yeah. Try and forget the one you raised.
You clearly had. Middleton. Ramirez Hodgson. Merkitz. Ricketts has gone outside him. Might have been the pass, but he's let go back to Georgieski. But a keep ball for Majura, Sluice and Middleton. Ricketts to Merkitz. And Tigers might be able to break here. There's a lot of numbers on this near side. If they can switch it with Bangura. McGregor kills it beautifully. Crossfield ball gave Akio far too much to do. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Didn't get the signal to see how long there was. Akio is blocked. Ricketts, nowhere to go. Popovic. Can they get a third on the cusp of half-time? They'll have to settle for a set piece, and that might be the opportunity. The final one of the first half, perhaps.
1-1, Russ.
Queanbeyan City equalised.
Yeah.
Bringing news of that goal scorer when we can. You want to guess that it's Nico Abbott?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out for you. Short odds, perhaps, on the Argentinian. Taneski here. Goes short. Ogawa. Taneski, change of angle. They were queuing up on the far post, but they couldn't find its way past the Majura defence. Ramirez Hodgson finds Kai.
Should have played it.
Well, Larkin wanted it, didn't he? He was off to the races. It will be the last chance of the first half, Steve Forger, or a first half in which the Tigers, as expected, have dominated, but maybe not quite to the extent that you think on the scoreboard. 2 up, down to 10 men. They look like they're going to progress, which they surely will, but not quite as fluid as Ali Effie might have liked.
No, I think he'll be a little bit disappointed in the quality of the play. Obviously, he knows now that the game is there to lose. Is theirs to lose, sorry. They haven't been fluent. They haven't been ridiculously poor either, and I think if they can just tidy up and be a little bit more patient and create with a little bit more quality, then I think they can actually take this game out, take it out comfortably. From Majura's point of view, it's a battle. They've stayed in it. They've worked hard. They're down to 10 men. It's a near impossible task, but nonetheless, they're struggling along manfully. Full credit to them.
2 goals in 2 minutes, around the quarter of an hour mark for Michael Southam with a header and Archie McGregor with a low right-footed finish up, giving the Tigers the advantage. Then it's been extended with the sending off of Uppal Hogg being denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity when he brought down Archie McGregor, who was clean through on goal. Straight red card, no choice really for Josh Isa, the referee. And at half-time, Tigers, well, they're 1 foot in the quarter-finals and a place in the draw on Monday because they're the team in front. It's Tigers 2, Majura 0. Welcome back to South Jerrabomberra Regional Sporting Complex, where it is half-time and Tigers lead Majura by 2-0 in the Hahn Australia Cup qualifying round 4, brought to you by our sponsors. Allstate Towing, broken down or been in an accident? Give Allstate Towing a call, your 24/7 local trusted towing company. Electro Tinj, proudly supporting the Capital Football Australia Cup qualifying rounds. Deakin Club, the family-friendly football club. Kitro Excavations for all your excavation and earth-moving needs. Rhythm Snowsports, ignite the stoke. Canberra PC Repair, IT support when you need it most. LJ Hooker for your real estate needs. Contact Lukas at LJ Hooker and Xela Constructions. Commercial builders proudly supporting grassroots football. Half-time here, 2 goals. The first by Michael Southam with a header, the second by Archie McGregor in the 15th and 17th minute. Upwell Hogg sent off for Majura. We watched it back again, not much doubt about it. We were just having a chat about it at the time, asking the questions, but I think we've answered that, and it was a straight Reds. Half-time, I think it is, or close to half-time at Gungahlin enclosed. Belconnen United lead Queen Bee City by 1-0. We were told there was an equaliser. There was, but the goal was disallowed. It was kicked out the goalkeeper's hands, so no goal there. And Belconnen lead 1-0. My name's Russ Gibbs. Steve Forshaw is with me. Hope that brings everyone up to date with where we're at. Steve, we're looking around to see if there's any changes. How was your half-time?
My half-time was very pleasant, and I'm looking forward with some interest to how Tigers fulfilled their promise in the second half. I mean, I'm not worried about the scoreline blown out. It'll take care of itself if they play well enough. Really keen to see how Majura battle it out for the full 90 when they're down to 10 men. But realistically, looking forward to a decent match, a decent competition.
Been a change at half-time for the Tigers. Nathan Medjic is on at the back. Looks like it's one of the midfielders who's gone, because Sam Whitty has gone in there. Is it Augustine Bangu? No. Is it Tomohiro Ogawa? I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Process of elimination with no boards here. The 10 men of Majura, I think, are the same.
Yeah, Ogawa's off. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, one change at half-time. Nathan Medjic, central defender, joining the central defender club with his bright, what are they, pink and orange boots. Switch of play from Taneski to Akio. And they win a first corner within the first minutes of the second half. We spent most of half-time trying to figure out whether it was 1-0 or 1-1, didn't we, over at GEO. Getting conflicting messages.
Yeah, last I heard it was 1-0 and there was about a minute to go to half-time. So if Belconnen have held on, they'll be in the sheds now 1-0 up.
Got a few people out there watching it, so we will get some updates in the second half, of course. William Akio with the corner kick.
Although with the conflicting scorelines we received, some people might be out there but not watching it.
It depends who we believe, doesn't it? Comes for Taneski. Southam. Challenged by Merkitz. Rory Larkin's going to get there. Robbed by Bangura. Merkitz, Larkin. Touch was a bit heavy. Southam could tidy up to Medjic. Steinacker. Medjic. Gabe Tarazi getting involved. Another change there. Christian Baresi's come on too.
I thought I saw it. I hadn't seen the number 10 in the first half, but I didn't know who it was.
Definitely wasn't there in the first half, was he? So he's
no.
Bring it out in a minute. Ball in towards the middle for McGregor. So put it wide. I think it's the Nick Popovic.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Sensible change, really.
They put McGregor down the middle.
Yeah. And
chance for young Baresi.
Popovic a rest before the weekend's game.
Where they travel to O'Connor Knights.
Well,
that one's got a game and a half. We'll talk about that in just a second, as Taneski will look to send this corner kick into the danger zone. It's going to come out as far as Baresi. Taneski, change of angle, flatter delivery. Georgeski got rid of it. Steinacker with Ramirez Hodgson. So yeah, that game on the weekend at O'Connor enclosed, two teams that need a win. I've got a preview coming up in the week as we do, Steve, and I said it's a bit early to call it a must-win. for either team because it's only round 2. However, in terms of building momentum and building a charge, then perhaps it is time for one of them to stand up. Magic wants a go.
I think it's too early for the result to matter in terms of where you might finish at the end of the season. But in terms of how you start your season, it is really important because both are coming off heavy losses. And from a Tigers point of view, they'll be 3 games in and only have 1 point if they don't pick up anything at O'Connor. So it's...
Well, like I say, it's too early for a must-win, but it does have some importance.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Whittier. Angle ball is cracker, and here's Baresi. Chance to get a shot away. Good save, Jackson. Beat it away.
Yeah, did well, stayed big.
Ball from Ricketts was picked
offside,
off.
I think.
Georgieski. Middleton. Oh, and that's been picked off by Nick Tedeschi. It was a bit short by Matt Middleton. The delivery from McGregor, but Middleton's made up for it with a good piece of defensive work.
It was. Gave himself too much work to do with a sloppy pass, but made up for it, as you say.
As we were in terms of possession and territory, they've gone short. I'm not sure that was 10 metres or whatever you need to be 5 metres for Keegan Ramirez Hodgson. He was right on the back of Nick Tedeschi. I'm still not sure he's far enough back anyway, but McGregor lifts it into the dangerous Southam. Oh, that wasn't too far away. He didn't connect with it beautifully, Southam. More of a shin into the ground than anything, but still whistled past the post.
He had the freedom of the back post, and he'd be a little disappointed he didn't make a better connection, because if he does, it's 3-0, no doubt.
Reminder that the draw will be on Monday 14th of April at the CF offices at 11 a.m. Live on Capital Football YouTube channel. Tune in. School holidays, so you can watch it from home anyway if you're of that age, and if you're at work, well, that's a good time for a coffee.
Off to Sydney, actually.
You are.
With Belconnen's under 18 to play in the New Zealand schoolboys.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Good opportunity, that one.
Yeah, great.
Akio takes on Georgieski. We've got a foot on it to slow him down, but he's still going, Akio. And here's a chance for Baresi. The drop of the shoulder, and the finish didn't quite match the build-up.
It was excellent build-up. Excellent build. Great run from Akio. And Baresi sold the defender. Sent him off with the proverbial hot dog. But the finish, as you say, did not match the build-up.
Yeah, Monday 21st of April, I think it is, for Australia schoolboys v New Zealand schoolboys up in Sydney.
Yeah,
international.
We're playing a warm-up game against them.
Be a good opportunity for the Belconnen boys.
They're looking forward to it, from what I can gather.
So let us know how you go on, Steve.
Sorry?
Let us know how you go.
I will, yeah. Unless we lose heavily. And
so I wouldn't mind going to watch that myself.
You can have a drive up with me if you want.
Can't bring the kids out. School holidays, my friend.
Yeah, perhaps the car's full.
All of a sudden. Hamish Wells with the throw. Baresi. Wells again. Baresi. Bangira. Southam. Might fancy this, Michael Southam. Does! Oh, and why doesn't he? He has absolutely rammed that into the bottom corner, Michael Southam. He's got himself a double. He can't stop scoring this season, the defender. He's got his second of the night, and the Tigers have 3.
Wonderful strike, wasn't it? I don't think there was anything else on his mind when he picked up the pass that he was going to at least have a ping, and he's caught that really well. Give the goalkeeper no chance, even from the distance. Great shot, great finish, 3-0. Not unexpected.
Michael Southam, who only ever scored 1 goal in his career before this, and that was at the AS against O'Connor Knights, which they thought was going to give them a point. And
I remember
that? And they lost it to James Driscoll's goal.
Yeah.
He's now got 3 this season.
He scored for Belconnen's. Yeah, it's a lovely strike. Just seen the replay, it's a good strike. He scored for Belconnen's under-23s at High Street once with a very similar finish to the one you've just seen.
Well, he's got 3 senior goals this year, 1 in the league, 2 in the cup. You'd have got good odds on Michael Southam being the leading goal scorer in this Tiger star-studded squad.
Yeah, the only unexpected thing about this scoreline is those that have scored. It's with Southam getting a double.
He's on a hat-trick in the Australia Cup here.
Yeah, you wouldn't doubt that he gets it either.
I'll tell you what, if Michael Southam comes up with a hat-trick tonight, and I told you at the start of the week, there's going to be 2 hat-tricks, one for Monero and one for Tigers. Giuseppe Tyne and Michael Southam would have been quite low down that list, considering that Tyne might not have been expected to play.
I think you would have got good odds to double, that's for sure.
Oh, especially Southam. But you could strike a ball like that. As I said, why not have a hit? And it was a cracker.
Yeah, really, really good. Really good. He'll dine out on that for a while.
Yeah, I'd imagine the clip will be on his Facebook or social channels a bit later on from Michael Southam.
I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting his family, but I've run into his mum a couple of times.
Absolutely, I have, yeah.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
Seen his brother play futsal with Michael as well, and his sister goes round as well. I think she plays for ANU or Majura. I think it might be Majura. Just having a look at the replay myself as well. While Keegan Sluice is brought down, it was a crisp strike, wasn't it, off that right foot? Not a chance for Keegan Jackson.
No, no. You'll have to watch YouTube to see it.
Won by Ricketts. Moulakis wasn't going to get on the end of that one.
Yeah, if he was onside, it was only just. He's just mistimed his run.
One at one stage, sorry Steve, I was going to say, one at one stage Ali might turn to the bench, Ali FA, with the other 3. I wonder if we will see a Shandon Whitehead. Will we see Nikos Kalfas?
Well, certainly they're doing some mild warm-up there. Nothing enthusiastic, but...
Well, they're stretching as much as we are up here, isn't it? Ryan's doing a good job on the camera tonight, on debut.
Great job. Had trouble with his bubble early on.
And that will mean absolutely nothing to anybody that wasn't here. Trying to get the camera level is what Steve was trying to refer to.
Clumsily so.
Magic finds Steinacker. Baresi. Taneski, Baresi. McGregor peeling away from Middleton. Runners inside him, goes himself.
Just couldn't get the ball in a position to knock it in because Akio was storming in at the far post.
He wouldn't mind a goal, William Akio.
I think he needs one. Just to
put it on his vlog.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that as well.
Have you seen it?
No.
He's a consistent vlogger. Let's put it that way. There's a fair few. Likes to document what's going on. Southam. Bangura. Whittier. Wales. Building something here, the Tigers. Nice run from Wales. He's got it back from Baresi. Good challenge, Middleton.
Yeah, it didn't quite work, but it's the sort of combination I think they should try more of against this particular outfit. I mean, you don't want to fall into the trap of overplaying, but they do need to sort of get those little 1-2 goings, those little reverse passes, just doing something different in that area. But they've been better second half at that, to tell you the truth.
Remember, they are only playing 10.
Yeah.
Paul Hock was sent off in the first half. But there will be parts of this that pleased Ali Effie, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Not least of which is that they'll be in the draw on Monday.
Baresi. Went down from Michael Georgievski. Nothing doing, says Josh Isa. He wasn't having a bar at that. And there was no contact as far as I could see.
If there was any contact, I think it was self-induced.
Magic. It's been a lonely old night for Rory Larkin, chasing lost causes most of the night.
Yeah.
McGregor turns into the challenge. And here's a chance for Kai to bring it forward. Now Larkin might have a chance to have a run. Might fancy a go. Does. And then something for Gabe Tarazi to do.
He's just found out why he's here, Gabe Tarazi.
That was a little bit better from the 10 men.
It was.
Got themselves a shot on target. Hamish Wales. Ramirez Hodgson. Sluice. Ramirez Hodgson again.
I think that double makes Michael Southam the top scorer for the club at the moment.
He does, as I mentioned, he's got 3 goals this season, so you'd, like I said, you'd have good odds on him being the leading goal scorer amongst this star-studded Tigers attacking pantheon.
I know, we looked at the starting lineup and said there's a plethora of attacking players on the park, and what do we get? A defender scoring 2.
A couple of goals from Southam, yeah. Majura have got themselves a set piece here, now here's a chance. I wonder if they will commit some forward.
I wonder if they'll send the goalkeeper up.
Well, he's coming up to the halfway line, isn't he, Keegan Jackson, out of your shots?
Looking for second phase.
Matt Murcutt's going to take it. They have committed 5 to the box here, and as per usual, the Tigers are zonal marking again. No picking up man for man. Larkin's got loads of space here as well, and that's what happens. And he's left it for Middleton, and here's Kai, and it's a good save by Tarazi. And again, that zonal marking was picked apart.
Yeah, it's fraud. I mean, a really well worked set piece. Let's give credit to Majura where it's due. But once again, freedom of the box and better connection there, and they score.
The cracking save from Gabe Tarazi down low to his right.
Yeah, good save, bad miss. He really should have scored, but the goalkeeper did exactly what he's paid to do.
Looking at the replay, he's got a fair bit of that, Reggie Kai. Decent stop that from Tarazi. Murcutt will take the corner kick from this near side. Chance for him to lift it into the penalty area, which he does. Met at the near post by Magic. Sluice wins the header back. Magic will clear. But a moment of note for Majura, and a good save from Gabe Tarazi. Middleton. Hamish Wales got in front, and now here's a problem. Bangira. Good block by Ramirez Hodgson. McGregor. That's good defending by Georgeski again. It's done well, Michael Georgeski at the back there.
He's been asked to work hard, hasn't he? And everything that they've thrown at him, he's been able to find an answer for.
Nick Taneski is coming off. Sam Whittier, the captain, is also coming off. Changes on the far side. I can't see it's too far away. But Taneski and Whittier, their job is done.
Bailey, is it?
It looks like Angus Bailey.
I don't know who the other one is.
I think it's Shandon Whitehead, in fact, on debut. We will check for you.
Yeah.
Quarter of an hour into the second half. Tigers have another corner. So Angus Bailey confirmed as coming on for Sam Whittier. Towards the far post. It was almost a chance for Bailey. Southam through the crowd and was denied the hat-trick. Just to confirm, it is Shandon Whitehead on debut as well, Steve.
Yeah, good.
Taneski.
Good. And is there any reason why he hasn't played in the first 2 games? He's
been injured, yeah.
Okay.
That's why he's taken his time to get into it. McGregor. Whitehead, first chance to see what he can do with that left foot. Not bad effort. Now Kai can clear it. Now there's a bit of room here for Matt Murcutt. And Larkin's miles offside, unfortunately. He's going to get on the end of it, but the flag is going to deny him. He was offside by a fair old country mile.
So, in the Russ Gibbs rulebook, that's a booking?
I think so, yeah, because he's not hit the target. He's not scored, has he? So, I only think it's fair. To be fair, Josh Eyes has been very consistent with that tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's actually had a good game. Despite my incorrect assessment of the sending off, I think he's had a...
No, look, I think you're entitled to ask the question, and then you see the replay and went, okay. Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
why we have
Referee
the
doesn't
replay.
get a chance for the replay.
He
of
didn't.
course.
No.
So he's got the decision 100% right from the word go.
He's a lot closer than you are as well, Steve, and me too. William Accio to send it in, the deflection. Keegan Jackson brings it down and launches one towards Larkin. Larkin up top.
Not sure what they're expecting Rory Larkin to do with that. He's
Well, I think they're expecting him to bring it down, take it forward and smash it past the goalkeeper, but expectation meets realism at some stage.
absolutely. I mean, he's 40 yards from his nearest support.
Bailey. Whitehead. Bit of good spell this from Majura in terms of getting a bit of ball and
Getting
causing one or
forward,
two
yeah.
problems. Southam. McGregor.
Some of his decision making today, Archie McGregor, leaves a bit to be desired.
If he could harness it, there's a player there, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Pace, power, you know, he can get past players, he can hold them off, he can score goals.
I'd rate him very, very high.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, the best players in the world don't play well every minute of every game. So there are a few things in his game that I think he can sort of tidy up, and one of them is his decision making. His work rate's phenomenal.
Example of it here. Might have caught Georgeski. Probably did. Michael Georgeski wins a free kick, and Majura, well, 20 minutes into the second half. Live Australia Cup football brought to you by your sponsors, Allstate Towing, Electro Tinj, Deakin Club, Kitro Excavations, Rhythm Snowsports, Canberra PC Repair, LJ Hooker and Xela Constructions. Thanks again to our sponsors. 3-0 down, but knocking on the door, trying to get something in, and they might be in here. Kanan Sluice, and a real chance here to score, and Tarazi, well, denies the opportunity. It was the fullback up, Vasily Moulakis, who got forward, and they might have scored there.
Well, that's twice that Tarazi has kept the Tigers' clean sheet intact. And that's something that will be of concern to Aliefe, that a team with 10 men from a lower division is actually creating chances.
Well, here
where
goes
they
Southam.
should- Sorry, Russ.
Sorry. Southam almost made it 4. Yeah, carry your point, Steve. Yeah, they've created chances, haven't they?
Yes, they have. But it's, 10 men.
2 good ones and 2 decent saves from Tarazi.
I think they should have scored both.
It's got a bit sloppy from the Tigers' perspective. I mean, it's hard when you're 3-0 up and cruising to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
But there's enough quality out there.
Attitudinally, they need to be at the races for the full 90 minutes. I mean, they will be thinking ahead to the game on the weekend and conserving a little bit of energy, but this reeks a little bit of complacency now.
Here they come again. The Tigers' flag goes up for offside.
He really should bring it back for the free kick then. There's a little chop at the heels, wasn't there, on the way through? And he played on.
Midway through the second half. Why's my wife trying to call me during work hours, Stephen?
Well, she is on an international soiree.
That is true. And I'm at South Jerrabomberra Regional Sporting Complex. Who's the real winner?
Football.
It's come off of Steinacker. Michael Southam. Bangira. What I'm going to ask you in a moment, Steve, as Magic gives it away, and I'll come to that question after this. Sluice. Does he want to have a go? He does. And another shot on target for Majura. Coming into this game tonight, there were plenty of questions about this Tigers outfit.
Yep.
Have any of them been answered? Or are there still plenty of questions as to where they fit, who fits where, what the formation should be, etc.? Think about that in a second. As Accio is going to find Baresi. There's loads of space here for Christian Baresi, and he's bent it just past the post. So what do you think, Steve? You know what questions we're talking about? Is the makeup of the defence right? Is the makeup of the midfield right? Have they got it right going forward? All those questions that we ask of every single club. And plenty of questions that were asked after the game at the Riverside on Friday. What's your thoughts?
Look, I think they made a step forward. I think there's still work to do. Defensively, they haven't really been tested tonight, but when they have, in this second half in particular, they've still looked a little vulnerable. Like I said, throughout the first half, I think some of their football lacks a bit of fluency, a little bit of guile. At times it's very predictable. So I still think they're working on those sorts of things. I think Akio needs to show a little bit more. He's come with a big reputation, but he hasn't really stood out tonight. And I think this is the sort of game that he really should have, notwithstanding the fact that he's still finding his feet in the Tigers camp. But no, not the finished product by any stretch of the imagination. And although some of the questions might have been answered for them, there's still some that remain.
Majura going to make some changes here. How's your eyesight? Looks like Prochan Basnet is one of them, wearing number 11. Keegan Ramirez Hodgson is making way.
And Kai.
Reggie Kai is
Reggie
going
Kai,
off as well. And the number on that one
22
is Samuel Moore, I think. Yeah, 22. Thank you very much. Samuel Moore for Reggie Kai. So Moore's gone into the centre of defence. Prochan Basnet I saw against Woden Valley, and he was quite busy, got up and down. Tigers have also made another change. Nikos Kalfas has come on.
Yeah, long-term injury, Nico. He had a bad knee injury, but we know what he's capable of if he's come back in the same sort of form.
And is it William Akio he replaced?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I actually thought Akio or McGregor might have been taken off.
His Moore, first involvement for him is decent. Steinacker. New position for McGregor again out on this near side. Southam. Space for Bailey here. Wales, 4 to hit in the penalty area for Hamish Wales. Having a go himself. Bailey. Everyone back in the blue shirt now. Bar Larkin. Whitehead. Nice switch to Southam.
Must play McGregor.
He's got an eye for goal, Michael Southam. Baresi, Southam. Sluice forces him the long way round. Wales, they're building here. Bailey.
Not a lot of movement in the box, though.
Across the area, and Middleton will concede the corner.
Made the defenders favourites to win it because they were pretty static in the box. They didn't get movement. They weren't moving in front of defenders. They were sort of hoping that the ball would get to them. And if it did, of course, they score. But I think you've got to do a little bit more to try and put the defenders under pressure.
As mentioned, Prochan Basnet, he's got traditional winger, loves to run at people. Very pacey, the number 11 from Majura. Had a good cameo against Woden Valley. It's into the area. There's Kalfas! Oh, he might have done better. Met it really well at the near post. Another example of how much of a threat they're going to be on set pieces, the Tigers.
And it's all at the near post, isn't it? Woody, Michael Southam, now Kalfas at that near post. Of course, it's a lot of problems for Majura.
It's where they've caused the most problems, isn't it, Steve? Yeah. Is off set pieces.
Yeah, and it's because they're moving.
Bangura, Whitehead, runners ahead. Baresi wanted it. Has it back again, Whitehead, but it's a bit short. Murcutt wins it. Sluice left it.
Yeah, of course he did.
Ricketts.
Oh, good turn.
Nice from Middleton. Larkin, flag stays down. Majura growing in confidence here, and Roy Larkin wants to go. Sliding in.
That was a little agricultural.
Luckily, he didn't make contact with Noah Steinacker.
It's a good job he didn't.
Look at the space here from McGregor, but he didn't go. Pass wasn't good enough anyway.
No. I mean, it wasn't a bad idea to get that sort of long diagonal in for the switch, but inaccurate. Really didn't give McGregor much of a chance.
William Akio is having a trudge around behind the goal, Steve.
He is indeed.
Malakis is onside here for Majura. He's only got Basnet in the middle.
Tried to find him.
Heading off for a shower. Akio. Bailey. McGregor. Bailey. Majura. It's been good to see Majura's approach in this second half, that they've actually just gone for it. They're going out of the cup and they know it, but they're thinking, well, we'll try and get ourselves a goal here.
I mean, a goal would be like a win, wouldn't it?
Against a side that were in the grand final last year, don't forget. Whitehead, Kalfas, Bailey. Good ball in. Wales. And he's nodded it wide as well. Yet another headed opportunity goes begging for the Tigers.
Wasn't a great header, was it? I mean, it's a lovely ball in. He really should have been doing better. I mean, he had to generate the bit. What didn't come in at pace, so he had to generate whatever force he could. But not a great header. Didn't trouble Keegan Jackson at all. Another change.
I think it's Paul Sifas who might be coming on, I think.
24.
Yep, for Matt Murcutt. They are a player down on the bench, Majura, quintessential Community League team where they've got probably 16 players, Steve, and when one of them falls away, there's no replacements. They don't have a whole squad of youth ranks to pick from. Here's McGregor, Bangura blocked by Middleton.
Which makes it all the more difficult when you lose a man for ill discipline.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt them on the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Assuming they get to play this weekend, that is. Whitehead.
Well, they're undefeated so far.
Southam.
Quality just lacking there.
And that's deflected. Oh, that's a wonderful block by Moore. Whitehead thought he was scoring.
He did. It really is attack v defence, isn't it? As you would expect.
Do you know, I've been impressed by Majura tonight. There was a lot of people, and myself included, thought they might get absolutely rumbled here tonight. Well, but they have defended stoically. It's been excellent to watch. Here's McGregor. They still might concede one or two more. Bailey into the side netting. Free kick anyway, I think, had been given.
Yeah, they still might get, you know, a bit of a turnover.
They thought themselves they were going to get battered, yeah. Steve. So I think the way that they've gone about this has been a huge credit to their football club.
Well, to be 3-0 at this stage of the game with 10 men against an NPL outfit that is touted as being one of the favourites to win silverware this year, have already played. I think, did they play in the Charity Shield? No, they didn't, did they?
No, they played 2 games, 2 league matches.
Yeah. It is a credit to them.
Quarter of an hour to go. 3-0 to Tigers. A brace from Michael Southam. Either side of a goal from Archie McGregor. Ricketts had to look up. There wasn't many ahead to hit. Can't find Sluice.
Russ, you look at this game and watch Majura, how they battled away, and, you know, they've fought an uphill battle, if you like. And you then look at the game last night where Monero turned over West Canberra Wanderers 7-0. And you think, how would it have gone, the game between West Canberra Wanderers and Majura? You don't see West Canberra Wanderers beating Majura comfortably, do you?
Well, Woden Valley really pushed them. They were a State League 3-4 team. Here's a chance for Whitehead. No, get on the end of it. The State League 3-4 team, the Woden Valley side, and they took Majura to extra time. They weren't lucky not to beat Majura to set up this, and here they go. Gabe Tarazi will get there first anyway. And that was a credit to Woden Valley. It was a good cup tie, that one.
Yeah.
I mean, proper quintessential early round cup tie between 2 teams going toe-to-toe. Technically might not have been the greatest watch, but was certainly very exciting. And Majura have come here tonight against, as you say, last year's grand finalists, who were winning comfortably in that grand final before the end, and they felt there was some unfinished business that they needed. They're going to get the job done, Tigers, and that's the main thing. Wales.
First objective for Tigers was to come here and make sure that they were in the next round. That's been achieved. Second, and probably just as important, was the performance itself. And I think it's fair to say that they'll play better than this and lose, perhaps, against some of the better teams in Canberra.
Krishna Sanjayan is coming on. Henry Ricketts below us is coming off. So that's the bench, apart from the goalkeeper.
How many changes? Could they give the goalkeeper a run if they wanted to? Have they got enough changes left?
I don't think they have any left now, do they? I think they've done them all. Yeah. Because I mean, the two earlier, didn't they, in the same time? Wilmore and Basnat, and then Sifas came on a moment ago.
Yeah, that's the three, because they didn't make any at half-time.
Yeah, Sanjayan is the third one that just came on.
Yeah, that's the three windows. So they've got to get to extra time to use the goalkeeper.
McGregor. They've got 12 minutes to get 3 goals to do so. I'm not a betting man, Steve, as you know. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Hamish Wales. Question is, are Tigers going to get a couple more, or one more at least? And that would be a bit harsh on Majura. You feel there might be another one before the end?
I'd be surprised if there's not. But they...
Sanjayan does well. Now then, here's a chance for Basnan, and he is quick, and Magic's come across, needs to time it, does. Had visions of the Hock challenge on McGregor.
Yeah, so I had visions of him cartwheeling across the grass. But good tackle, well timed.
Bangura. Southam. Busy tonight, he's just been everywhere, Michael Southam. Keenan's booted away by Mulakis.
Didn't go in, yellow card.
As I said, I have no problem with it because he's been consistent with this all night.
He's
Josh
done well,
Isa.
yeah.
Yeah, he's just there's no need to throw the cards around, is there?
No. I mean, it's silly stuff from the players, isn't it? Keep kicking the ball away.
I mean, it's just tiredness now, isn't it? I think they're just trying to see this one out. It's just gone 1-1 at GEO. They might be in for a long night there, but Conham 1, Queanbeyan City 1. City equalising. And if they were 10 minutes or so behind us, they've still got about 15-20 to play in the 90. One apiece at that one. Shannon Whitehead over this, Christian Baresi.
13 minutes into the second half, 1-1.
Baresi's ball in. And it's going to come for Kalfas. Oh, he's absolutely hammered it. As soon as it dropped to that right foot, you could see only one outcome. And Nikos Kalfas back from injury and smashes home the fourth.
Well, lovely connection again. Very, very similar to Michael Southam's second goal. But once you connect that cleanly, well, certainly when a player of Kalfas's quality connects that quality on his strike, goalkeepers are given very little chance to react. And that's a really, really good finish.
Yeah, 9 minutes to play. They couldn't deal with the free kick into the penalty area. And when it fell to the trusty right boot of Nikos Kalfas, he absolutely lamped it past Keegan Jackson. Not a chance for the goalkeeper.
Reverted to a rugby league style kickoff there.
It was a shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Magic. Here's Southam. McGregor. You don't want it to blow out now, do you, really, in this last 10 minutes? Because they don't deserve that, Majura. Georgieski. It's loose. Nine minutes or so to play here.
If they get a penalty, does Southam take it?
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
You'd
I mean,
hope so,
the
yeah.
chances of Michael Southam being on a hat-trick again, given his goal-scoring history or the lack thereof, it'd be a bit rough not to.
Yeah.
Bangura. Many qualities, Michael Southam. Goal-scoring, not amongst them until tonight.
Well, up till this season, yeah.
Exactly, they might be in again. Offside. Flag goes up. That one won't count. Angus Bailey. Flag well beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, now look, now I might be doing a disservice. He might be a new Michael Southam. Leaner, meaner and deadly in front of goals.
Well, he scored against Ugali and then missed the next game, was left on the bench. He scored 2 tonight.
He came off the bench in the last game. He's had 2+1 appearances this season, Steve, for 3 goals.
Yeah.
Which, considering in his NPL career, he has 52 appearances for 2 goals, which includes that one against Ugali. You get where I'm coming from.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I'm just wondering whether he actually, because he's got 2, he'll have to miss 2 weeks on the bench.
McGregor. Still going here, Archie McGregor. And hammers it goalwards, and it got a nick. And it's helped its way in, and McGregor's got himself a brace as well. And it's 5.
I mean, the deflection probably didn't help the keeper, but I think he was going to score anyway. But he may just have done himself a mischief here. He just seemed to be limping after he struck that. Unless it's a bit of cramp.
Well, he got away down the right, and I think whether he got it came off the boot of the defender to loop it past the goalkeeper, Jackson. Maybe caught him on the follow-through, but there was definitely a deflection in there, Steve, that helped to loop it in. But so it's going to be Archie McGregor's goal anyway.
Oh, definitely.
And with 6 minutes to play.
And that gives him a brace as well, doesn't it?
Well, maybe they're fighting over a penalty now, are they?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, just looking at the replay, he does really well, don't he? Perseveres to get in behind and then whack. Yeah, it takes a deflection, definitely.
Not a chance for Keegan Jackson. So Josh with the replays is doing well tonight, isn't he?
He's done great.
Yeah, not easy training Ryan on the camera, but he's on the replays as well. Excellent work.
Well, this is in danger of blowing out into last night's proportions now.
Which is really harsh on
It is.
the Community League side, who've battled and battled. They've obviously run out of steam. Shandon Whitehead might fancy this. Now, Keegan Jackson's a very good goalkeeper. It would take some sort of finish from Whitehead if he's going to be able to get this in. But he has got it in his locker. Unfortunately, he left it at home.
Yeah, he left it in his locker. No Declan Rice touches about that one.
Oh dear. How about those this morning? That second one.
That went where the Spiders lived, didn't it?
No danger of him doing it for England, is there, Steve? Saves it all for Arsenal.
They're great free kicks.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. McGregor looking to slide it in. Baresi, he's got tricky feet,
Offside.
and he's also offside.
Wow, they've been offside a lot.
Well, they have been offside a lot, and they've missed an awful lot of headers for the Tigers tonight. There's been plenty of headers that have gone close. Whittier, Wales, Kalfas.
Yeah.
They've had a bucket of chances. Bangura has been tidy. And here's his pace, and he goes down. And that will be a free kick right on the edge of the box. Cue Declan Rice.
Must have been close.
Yellow card for someone. I think it's Michael. No, it's not. I think it might be the captain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Matt Middleton.
Middleton, yep.
Who's got himself a yellow. Well, who is Declan Rice in this Tigers team? We'll find out.
It's in Kalfas's range, that's for sure.
Considering how hard Nikos Kalfas kicks a ball, anywhere on a football field might be within his range.
Southam's over there thinking hat-trick.
he fancies it, doesn't he? Pushing everyone away. Archie McGregor's queuing up as well, going, well, I can have a go as well if you like, Michael. Shandon Whitehead is a set-piece expert also. Bit of paper, rock, scissors. Or has Archie McGregor just pulled rank?
He looks like he might have just won the raffle.
Whitehead's there with a left foot. It's likely to be McGregor on the right. Into the final 3 minutes. 4 in the wall, I think, or 3 in the wall from this angle, I believe. Keegan Jackson lining it up. He might have some work to do if McGregor can get it up and over. Sifas has added himself to the line. It's McGregor into that wall. Whitehead. Not the best free kick. Now Sluice might be able to set something forward here.
I think, you know, a free kick like that, this stage of a game that's comfortably won, if you've been practicing just having a shot from that, it's in the scoring zone. If you're practicing having a shot from that range, well and good. But if you've been working on something else, perfect time to try it.
Magic. Off its toes by Basnets. Scoreline bolstered by a couple of late goals. In the 81st minute and the 84th. Nikos Kalfas.
Rory Larkin. Oh, why?
Well, he's kicked the ball away as well. And again, as I said, I think if he'd booked one, you're going to book them all, aren't you?
The testing is patience, though.
Oh, they are. And fair play to Josh Isa. He's kept it nice and calm. Magic. Southam, Bangura. Decision for Ali Effie before the weekend. 2 plays where? Hamish Wales bursting on the overlap and a chance to send it into the middle. Whitehead was the target.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, even for the lads that are not part of tonight's squad, you know, like the Samson Cars, do they come back into consideration if they're fit? Does he...
Do you know what? I think the only one I can almost guarantee will happen will be William Lejeune will be back in goal.
I think that's correct. I think that's...
Which is no disrespect to the quality of the performance from Gabe Tarazi tonight, who, when called upon, has made the saves he's needed to, including a very smart one from Reggie Kai.
Well, he's made 2 good saves.
Into the area. Everyone's missed it. And Magic has fired it wide. Nikos Kalfas and Nathan Magic having a laugh about it because Kalfas just got out of the way for him.
I mean, Tarazi's going berserk trying to get people back, but there was nobody to come back to mark.
I think he was having a word with them for keeping switched on.
Yeah, he was.
With 90 seconds or so to play. Into the final minute, in fact. Plus whatever's going to be added on. Scoreline blown out, like I said, with those 2 late goals. 2 in 2 minutes in the first half. 2 in 3 minutes in the tail end of the second.
5-0 with 10 men is still not embarrassing.
And they might have a chance here. Basnet and Larkin doing the pressing. And the fact they're still pressing in the 89th minute is a real credit.
Well, it certainly shows that they're fit enough to play for 90, doesn't it?
They might be a good shout in their division this year, Majura. McGregor is on a treble. Does he fancy a hat-trick? It's the right angle for him. The ricochet has fallen. Well, he's been caught really late. We'll come back to that in a minute as it's driven at goal by Bailey. Archie McGregor is down in an absolute heap.
He's added injury problems in the last season as well.
There's a yellow card coming out here for someone.
It was certainly late.
And it's the substitute, I think, isn't it? Just watching the replay now. Oh, he caught him on the ankle on the follow-through.
I think he's had trouble with his ankles before.
Sanjayan. Wasn't a pretty tackle. Squeal of pain from Archie McGregor.
It's very late.
There's an apology from the perpetrators. Doesn't help Archie McGregor, does it?
No, it's a painful one. The fact that he's up and he's putting weight on it is a good sign, though.
If it comes his way, I wonder if he's got the pace to get away. Baresi tries to squeeze through.
I don't think he wants it now.
And we play less a minute of stoppage time, and that'll do, says Josh Iser, and Tigers will progress, well, not quite serenely, but with enough confidence and enough competence to suggest that they were never in trouble, Steve, and especially against 10 men. Brave from Majura, but the Premier League side progress.
Look comfortable in the end, and you can't argue that they didn't dominate proceedings. Even before it went down to 10 men, they were all over Majura. Give a little bit of credit to Majura, though, for the way they kept at it. Augurs well for their season coming up, but there was only ever going to be one winner, and that was Tigers. They've done what they needed to do. Still a work in progress. I'm convinced that they'll be better for the run, and they'll be better as the season progresses, but a comfortable win, and they'll be looking forward to the draw on Monday to see who they play next.
Thanks very much, Steve, for your company here tonight. Have a safe trip home as well, and good luck with the game on Monday against New Zealand Schoolboys.
Thank you.
Look forward to that. 2 goals in 2 minutes in the first half from Michael Southam, and Archie McGregor had the Tigers comfortably in control. Southam drilled home a third in the 52nd minute, then 2 goals in 3 minutes. Nikos Kalfas off the bench and on the score sheet. Archie McGregor with the 5th. See Tigers through to the quarterfinals. You'll find out who they play on Monday, 11 o'clock. There's one game still going on. Queen City and Belconnen are 1 apiece. We'll see how that goes. Keep an eye on all the social channels for the results as usual. But finished here at South Jerrabomberra Regional Sporting Complex. Tigers FC 5, Majura FC 0. See you, Steve. Thanks, mate.